Hi and welcome. It's a cloudy day on Mallorca today and we are in the Club Marítimo in Can Pastilla. We'll be looking at Digital Samba 621 today. Come and join me. I have a nice spot picked out for us, and as always we're going to get stuck right in. Alright, so we're looking at Digital Samba 621. As we can see, this version is available from 10th of September 2025, and the star feature of this release seems to be around virtual backgrounds. And as we can see, this release introduces custom virtual backgrounds, allowing us to upload custom virtual backgrounds directly into a session. Needless to say, this is something that our users are going to love. We also have an option for participants to choose breakout rooms on join, which is useful if you are a participant and join a session late while breakout rooms are in session, and you might want to be able to join a breakout room, even if you came late. And that's something that moderators may or may not allow. And I'll talk you through that in just a second. And then there's a couple of other things which allow some new Q&A default settings, and we've also increased chat input limits, but we'll go through those quickly afterwards as well. So let's have a look first at the custom virtual backgrounds. So to check this out, all we need to do is go over onto one of our join screens, and if you click on audio and video settings and then virtual background, you now have this new icon over here, and by clicking it you can upload a virtual background directly from your system. I'm just going to grab this one, and as you can see, my virtual background has now appeared. If I close this and then join the session, I join with the new virtual background. So obviously very, very useful. As a reminder, you can also set these via the API, but this particular feature allows users to set them ad hoc in a session. So that's the new Add Virtual Backgrounds feature. All right, so the next feature we're going to look at is around participants being able to choose their breakout room on join. So I'll just scroll down a bit to find the descriptor of this particular feature. We added support for allowing participants to choose their initial breakout room when breakouts are active. A new toolbar button opens the breakout panel where a room can be selected and joined. So let's have a look at this. First of all, it's important that you have this setting turned on. As a reminder, all of this can be controlled by the API, but you want to allow your participants to freely join any breakout room for this feature to work. If you've turned this on, so let's jump into that room that we were working on earlier. Let's just get into there. And we're just going to jump into breakout rooms, and I'm going to start the breakout rooms. So as a reminder, this is a feature for users who join late, and I'm going to, as a moderator, move over into breakout room red. So I'm a moderator, I'm busy in breakout room red. Now, one of the people that I want to invite into the session is someone called Bruce. We're going to set up a token over here to push him into the room as an attendee. And I'm going to copy this URL, which is basically the room ID with the token according to the settings that we have set up. So the user's ID of Bruce, or his username that he's going to be identified with in the session, and his role as attendee. And if I now open a new tab and join this, you will see that I joined this session. And me as an attendee, there's no one here because everybody's in breakouts, right? So now there's a new icon down here called Breakout Rooms, and I can see as an attendee where everybody is. In this particular case, there's only Rob in breakout room red, and I want to join him over here. And because, as you remember, we gave attendees the permission to join breakout rooms freely, he can now join breakout room red. And that's exactly what he's going to do. So I didn't dwell there to avoid echoes and feedback and stuff like that. Great. And that was the ability to join breakout rooms for latecomers. Now, next, we see a feature over here which allows you to set the default Q&A filter. So if we go into one of these sessions, open the Q&A panel, you will see that by default in my room I've got all questions as the default filter, but you can now in the settings, let's have a look at that over here in Q&A, in the settings, you can set the default filter to all opened or answered. So if I set it to open and update this room, and then refresh, and join one more time, and now check Q&A, you will see that my default filter is now open, and I will now only see open questions by default. Okay, next we can see we added a character limit for breakout room names, restricting them to maximum of 30 characters. And we've also increased the chat input limits to a total of 1024 characters. Previously they were quite short, so this is obviously much more flexible. Yeah, and I think that's the most important stuff of this particular release. As always, there's a bunch of bug fixes. If you want to get the full details, make sure to subscribe directly on our release notes pages. And that's it for 6.2.1. Nice one. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks when we go through our next release notes. As always, give us a like and subscribe. Hasta la vista.